Hey everybody, welcome back to card number 3 for our Christmas card series. If you missed the last video, I'll have a link to it at the end of this video and also in the description below if you want to check it out. So for this one, I'm starting off with a piece of crumb cake cardstock. It measures 4 by 5 1/4, and I just took my chevron punch and just punched it once in the upper right hand corner. I'm now taking a piece of designer series paper. This measures 2 1/4 by 5 1/4, and it comes from the Seasons of Style 12 by 12 paper collection. And I'm just going to go ahead and adhere that down along the bottom half of my crumb cake cardstock. And I did cut this a little bit bigger than 5 1/4, just so I know that it went straight across and I wasn't short on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my scissors and trim that right off. The next thing I want to do is I'm taking a piece of cherry cobbler ribbon that's from the holiday catalog, and I'm just taking that and adding it right across the front of my matte piece that I'm creating here. Just using some scotch adhesive or scotch tape to hold my pieces down on the back side of my card. So I'm just wrapping that around, making sure that it's straight going across the front. And then adhering that down. I just have a little piece of string there that keeps getting in my way. Doesn't seem to want to stay where I want it to. So I'm just going to go ahead and adhere that other side down. And then I'm going to take a tag from the Tag It's bundle set, and I'm going to do a little tag surgery here using my scissors. I'm going to cut off about a 1/2 inch on the bottom and about 1/4 inch on each side. I'm doing that because I want to use this on the front of my card, and it was a little bit too big for my card, so I thought I could trim it down and make it work. So that's what I did here, is I just trimmed it down. And I am going to then take a sentiment. This is a sentiment from a Hostess stamp set that you can get when you place an order that qualifies for earning Hostess rewards. And I am just taking an Old Olive Stamp-A-Rite marker, and using the brush tip end, I'm coloring in this section that says Greetings. And I'm doing this because I want to stamp this in 2 lines and also in 2 different colors. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp Greetings down at the bottom because that's the last part of it. And then I'm using the Cherry Cobbler Stamp-A-Rite marker to do Christmas, which I'll stamp right above Greetings on the tag. Once I have that stamped out, I'm going to take some crumb cake ink. And there's also a little reindeer that comes in that stamp set, and I am going to go ahead and ink that up. And I have a little post-it note setting to the side there because I'm stamping off, and then I'm going to stamp it onto my tag because I didn't want that to be full color. I wanted it to be kind of faded so it looked like it was in the background of the sentiment. So I stamped it off onto my post-it note and then put it onto my tag. And now what I'm going to do is I'm using a piece of cherry cobbler seam binding, and I just slid that underneath that piece of cherry cobbler ribbon, and I'm tying a bow, or I'm starting to tie a bow. I just started off with the first part. I put the tag onto the cherry cobbler seam binding, started to make my bow, and then decided I wanted to add a little bit of linen thread to this. So I looped it around a couple of times around my fingers. I didn't tie it into a knot or anything. I just looped it around and set it right where I am going to tie my bow, which I am seem to have butterfingers today when it came to tying bows. And I started to just go ahead and tie my bow using the seam binding. And I'll fidget with this a little bit and tie my bow. And once I have that done, that little piece of twine, or the linen thread actually, sticks out from behind. And now what I'm doing is just peeling off the backings of some dimensional adhesive that I put onto the back of my matte piece. I then have a crumb cake cardstock, which is an A2 size card. It measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then a piece of designer series paper, also from that seasonal collection. And what I did was I just cut a little piece off. I'm not really even sure what the measurements were. I just wanted to make sure it was big enough to go so it was peeking through that chevron punch that I used early on. So I went ahead and adhered that down, and then I'm going to take my matte piece that has my tag adhered to it, and I am going to go ahead and center that right on the front of my card, making sure that the pattern paper in the background is sticking through the chevron punch out in the top. So that is my card for today. That was card number 3 in our Christmas card series. And here are a few pictures of my finished card. As always, a list of supplies will be down in the description of this video or over my blog if you want to check it out. And if you missed card number 2 in the series, go ahead and click where it says click here to watch. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.